Hey, what's going on Facebook? Oh boy, Thor's knocking on my thing on there. Thor came over to get some love. He's got him some chicken. Look at that face. How's that chicken face? Got a little over your mustache there, huh? Eating that chicken? We're over here next to the fire, enjoying a nice little toasty fireplace here. It's very, very chilly down here in Virginia this evening. Hope you guys had a great Saturday out there, day after Valentine's Day. Showering love to all those that we love, our wives, our husbands for some of us. What's up, Jorge? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for that prayer for the little Charlotte Rose. Appreciate you, my brother. What's up there, Georgia? What's up there, Paul? Good to see you guys here. We got my man Thor. Just got done eating some nice chicken. He looks all happy. We did a nice little tour today around Virginia. Went up to this place called Toppings, Virginia, for a nice little lunch on the water. And we also went to Kilmarnock, Virginia. Hello, Carolyn. Good to see you. Happy Valentine's Day yesterday, everybody. Hope you had a blessed time. Got lots of love, lots of flowers. You can see over there, Kathy still has her flowers. They're starting to bloom now. We got them in the warmer weather. She absolutely loved it. I know you guys saw that Facebook Live yesterday. Good to see you, Lori. How you doing? We got the fireplace going here. I know, Lori, where you guys are, very chilly down there. I should say a little chilly up there. It's very chilly down here. It was like 30 degrees outside. I just let the dogs out. And definitely chilly down here for this time of year. I think this is the third time since we've been here it's been below freezing. But I wanted to come to you guys, give you a little insights from this morning's talk. I talked to a really good friend of mine this morning for about an hour and a half about planting the seeds. You just never know. As long as you're trusting your heart, your gut, and your soul, Darren, just keep planting, keep planting, keep planting. Sometimes you can't rely on the weather. Sometimes you can't rely on the rain. Sometimes the soil is not so good. But if you just keep planting those seeds, eventually those seeds will bring the fruit trees that'll keep bearing the fruit. This fireplace is nice, right, Jorge? Nice gas fireplace here. But I had this conversation with her, and we were talking to her. I was like, I said, I remember 3 years ago when I had this vision, and I just stuck to the plan. I kept putting seeds into the soil. I kept making some phone calls, kept making connections, kept doing all these things to make sure that the harvest eventually would grow, pruning the branches back along the way, right? So then once you plant the seed, then the tree starts growing out, but you're still not going to get fruit. And you have to keep trimming those branches, and eventually the fruit will start coming out. You have to watch out for the insects, because the insects will come in and damage your tree. I remember when we were kids growing up on Westville Avenue in Danbury, we had some of the largest cherries I've ever seen a cherry tree, where eventually the black ants got in there, ate the cherry tree, and the tree died, and so did our cherries with it. So what was the lesson? Plant seeds. Mother Earth. The universe is going to give you some rain to help that thing grow. And then it's going to come out and get a couple of branches. Then eventually it starts bearing fruit. And that takes time. That's what I was saying this morning in the phone conversation. 3 to 5 years later, all of our fruits of our labor back then are now bearing the fruits. So we had a great conversation this morning. So I was thinking about that. I was like, what I'm going to talk about in today's Facebook Live is let's talk about planting seeds. Talk about trusting the process, because everything takes time. A good friend of mine, Miguel Sanchez, he says, they threw a bunch of shit on me, but they did not know that I was a seed. So as they threw all that fertilizer on top of him, eventually the seed came out of that. So Miguel, when you watch this, I love that analogy. I can still hear you speaking from the stage when you talked about that. And that is the reality for many of us. We go through this process, trusting the process, trusting the timing. Keep planting seed, David. Keep planting and planting. Keep plugging along. You never know when that fruition is going to take place. Sometimes it takes a year. Sometimes it takes 3 years. Sometimes it takes 5 years. But eventually, if you stick to your gut instinct, you stick to the process, stick to your truth, it'll all come to fruition. And that's what was happening with some of these ideas that were birthed years ago. I mean, the Rise as One movement is coming up on, 2016 of this year? It's 4 years for the Rise as One movement to get to this place. Hello, Sheila. Good to see you. Here by the fireplace. Very chilly down here in Virginia. It's like 30 degrees out. Just let the dogs outside, and they were like, get me back inside. I just gave them some of my leftover chicken because I bought a new chicken. I like to slice the chicken up, and I put it into little sandwiches and stuff like that, so I haven't even had my dinner yet. I've been going all day here with Kathy. Been traveling around the state. Had a nice conversation this morning. Had the beautiful sunrise this morning here, but it is definitely chilly here. So I know up in the Northeast it's definitely chilly up there where you guys are. But planting the seeds, trusting the process, trusting the timing. Mother Nature's got to do her part. The universe has got to do her part. We just have to do our part. We have to do our part. Let everybody else handle their part. And that's why, like, I was equating this to going back to the cycle of life, right? The little fish eats the big fish, the big fish eats the little fish, and then the fisherman catches the fish, and then they eat the fish. So everything's part of the cycle of life. We have to trust that process. We can't rush it. We can't force it. We can't push it on people. I've been very detriment lately saying two things. Don't say it's hard, because you make your mind go in shutdown mode. Is definitely one of those things that you start saying those things to yourself. This is hard, this is hard, this is hard. Yes, it's going to be hard. Guess what? It's not going to come to fruition. Cannot do that. And that's the secret sauce right there. Tell yourself it's a challenge. And watch things start to show up. So that was a conversation we had this morning as well. Everything goes in circles. Yes, Mike, absolutely. So Mike knows all about this. I mean, us guys here, we're getting to that 45 to 55 age range. The mind doesn't mentally mature until 40, 50 years old. So once your mind finally matures, then we start realizing, why did I do all that work for 40 years? Where am I going? And we start playing these tricks on ourselves. But the reality is now we are just getting started. We've been talking about this a long time in the Rises One group. For you guys that are in that group, if you're not there, I suggest you go to the Rises One group in Facebook. It's a private group. We're going to take that group very deep. I go more into detail what we're going on. I start sharing some of my deep insights of what's going on in our world to make this world a better place. But that is absolutely true, Mike. Everything goes in a circle. One thing relies on the next thing. You take something out of that chain, you break that chain, and the entire thing crashes down. And that is the key. Hello, Sandy. Good to see you logging on here. But I want to go make myself a little dinner here, go get my workout in. Thor looks like he's had his fair share over here. He's just chilling out on the couch. He says, yep, I got my chicken. I am good. Look at him. Happy as can be, and that's how we all got to be, right, Greg? Get all of our needs met. But instead of saying needs now, we say requirements. Get all of our requirements met. So change our needs to requirements, hard to challenges, and watch everything shift in your life for the better. So you guys have a great night. Have a great night, Mike. Good to see you guys. There's logging in. Good to see you, Mary, when you go back and watch this. Keep planting the seeds. Trust the process. Let the universe do their part. We do our part. In the end, we will grow those fruit trees to continue to bear fruit so we can eat for a long period of time as long as we maintain that. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for showing up. And when it's all said and done, together, we will rise as one. Peace. Love you guys.